Armchair.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and flat out deceived.
Why did you get so drunk?
You got drunk. I'm just really exhausted.
What's in that cup?
Arma Cokes?
Do you have any idea how important this is? We're trying to save the pub bowl. Really, this is what you're doing? This is what you're doing?
Chief, what do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night. Try to take over the world.
106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Armchair.
YouTube Live?
Radio station.
The radio station you can call your own. Do you know what listeners like about our station?
I like everything. It's always on my radio.
We never stop the music, except for now, when I talk.
Good morning. As we bring in Bobby and I take my camera off. Sorry, trying to get used to this new setting here. How are you, Mr. Bobby?
I'm doing great. I'm looking forward to talking a little bit about some of the teams we got coming up, including my Arizona Cardinals. Not too much though.
I think I checked the setting, but you're not hearing any echo, are you?
I'm not. No, all good this time.
I always have to remember it's a different setting from what I use at night than what I use in the morning when y'all are on. So I'm so used to just leaving it there and checking to make sure it's there. I might even check it in the morning and hit the wrong damn thing because in my mind. Anyways, the first thing we're going to do, so I want to get it out of the way before I forget, and I can put this on the screen. So I'm going to change this real quick so you can see this. We're going to add this to the stage. Okay, cool. You did stay on. I wasn't sure if it was going to kick you off. This is going to be randomizing the draft order for the Armchair Quarterback Trophy League, and we're randomizing it right now just so everybody can see it on air. And count me down, 3, 2, 1, Bobby.
3, 2, 1.
And here we go. What's going on here? And Doug gets the first pick. That's son of a. You're number 2.
Okay. There we go.
I believe that is Envy, who is number 3, the socially inept squad. I think that's her team. I'm number 4. Of course, I'm right in the damn middle. It's my least favorite place to be. Either want to be towards the top 1 or 2-ish, or towards the bottom 7 or 8-ish. So when you make the turn, instead of constantly being the freaking middle, and it's ass, especially when you're trying to conduct the show in the draft, because you're talking and you're like, crap. Anyways, that's right. Good morning, Peter. Peter's number 3, Envy. All kinds of nicknames that she has. And Mark is 5. John is 6. John. Climb Up, I don't know who that is 7. I'm forgetting somebody. And Robert is number 8. So he's got the spot that I like the most, which is the number 8 spot, because you get to go 8, 9. No, we're drafting the first day of the NFL for the first time ever. We're going to do this on the opening day of the NFL, which is, I believe, it's Thursday. I think it's September 4th.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know that or not.
I think. Let's see.
Not 100% sure, but anyways, I think it's the 4th.
Yep. Yeah, it would be the 4th.
Okay. So, and this thing changes on me constantly. Oh, wrong. Here we go. All right. So Armchair Quarterbacks Today, that's the name we're going with. We've been batting it around if it's going to be the quarterback show, but because we do Braves Country Today, that'll be the name going forward. Armchair Quarterbacks Today. We've been using this name for folks who may not be familiar with this. I mean, I actually started the name of that show in college in the early 90s and carried it throughout. And I did some shows up there in the Tennessee area, and it was always called the Armchair Quarterback Show. I did it in Murfreesboro. Trying to remember the name of the call letters in that town now. The number 1 sports station there in Murfreesboro that carries all the Vols and the Braves games.
Yeah.
The studio is right there on the square. Anyways, and we brought the show back 2014, I think is what it was, and did Armchair Quarterbacks on St. Augustine radio. We came back to Middle Tennessee on the Murfreesboro channel. We had a couple of other channels that we were doing, and then we started doing the CBS local independents where they were picking us up. Changed the name last year because the idea was the name was Cover Country because you're covering the spread. What I didn't think of and what made it so confusing, we'd already locked into the name and I said, screw it, I'll deal with it. I didn't think of the fact that someone was going to be looking for cover songs for country music.
That does make sense.
And I didn't. I thought of that. I live in the sports world. I love music, but I live in the sports world.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, oh crap. And every time I would Google Cover Country as opposed to our show going up, any kind of sports talk coming up, it would always go to, and this is a pretty good cover band that sings, songs or whatever. I'm like, crap, that's not what I'm gonna change the name. So back to Armchair Quarterbacks today, and there you go. Well, you got plenty of time to prep. You have, is it 3 weeks? Well, yeah, three weeks from today, 9 a.m. It's going to be live here on the show. And obviously, Bobby's going to be here with me. When he has to head to work, he'll head to work. But I'll carry through the entire draft. I didn't want to do it right at 9 a.m. because people like Bobby like to show up at 8:59. And that's a lot to put in going into the early part of the show. And plus, we're going to get you psyched up for the first day of the NFL season. And we'll probably make some picks right there just before the show or the draft begins. That's what I'm trying to say. So there you have it. You've got the number 2 pick. That means that you are either going to end up with, it's either going to be Jamar Chase, I would think. Bijan Robinson's the most popular number 2 pick. You could go with Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Or you could double down and go with the receiver. And there's a handful of there's about 2 other receivers that are going right there.
Probably Jefferson and Lamb.
Yeah, it's really between Lamb and Jefferson in most people's world. And it really comes down to what do you if you ended up going with the receiver on the second part, who are you probably going with?
I think I'd go with Jefferson there, and I have some faith in JJ McCarthy this season. I think he's going to be. Yeah, I do
too. I think JJ McCarthy. I think he's going to do fine.
Yeah, and I think he can at least replicate what Kirk Cousins did with Jefferson in Minnesota. So I feel good about that. But also,
let's not skate over the fact that Sam Darnold did a pretty damn good job too.
Sam Darnold did too. Yeah. I'm not gonna let the playoffs or like the end of the season, how it went for the Vikings, cloud my judgment there. During the regular season, he was fantastic.
That's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, I know. But from a fantasy perspective, Darnold did well. I think JJ McCarthy will fit into that offense well. I think he'll be able to do a good job. And at the very least, I think he'll be able to manage games with a lot of talent on that offense.
I think you're probably in the right direction. I want to say CeeDee Lamb because he's such a big part of that offense.
Yeah.
And Peter's got the 3rd pick. She's a Cowboys fan, so I'm pretty sure I know
where that's going.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know where what's going to be available when I draft.
Yeah.
It's either going to be the running backs. Well, I guess I'll probably end up going running back because there's no way in hell that both of those receivers are going to fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I also like that Jordan Addison is out for Justin Jefferson for the first few weeks because it gives him and McCarthy a few weeks to really.
They given a timeline on that, by the way?
On what?
Have they given a strong timeline on Addison yet?
Jordan, I think he's suspended 3 weeks. I want to say.
It was 3. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I believe so. I'm like 99% sure.
I'm in so many best ball drafts that you wouldn't believe my fun.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm sitting here calling games and in between commercials. I'm like, crap. I've got so many on Underdog fantasy that just it keeps me entertained in June and July and August when the Braves are 100 games out of first place. So, I keep saying, no, that's the last. I'm not going to join anymore. And then I go, Here we go. Just load up.
The drafts are just so fun. I get it.
She's saying she won't draft.
Oh,
so he might.
It's a smoke screen.
Yeah,
smokes.
No, he may be there for me. If he's there for me, I would definitely grab him.
There you go.
The only thing that makes me nervous about him is it's got nothing to do with him. And I think Dak Prescott's going to come back. He's going to be fine. He's going to be healthy. It's the damn circus that's going on.
Yeah,
the whole crap with Jerry Jones and the standoff. It's like a recreation of the gunfight at the OK Corral. It seems like they always have this every damn offseason. And that is the biggest problem.
Yep.
Biggest problem with the Dallas Cowboys over the last 40 years.
Yeah.
I guess it's not quite 40 years. He bought the team in 89.
Yeah.
But for your lifetime, okay?
Yeah.
We've always had some crap like this.
He loves the theatrics, and that's just not good for a football team.
And he also likes to he's like a really bad version of Donald Trump.
Yeah, yeah.
He tries to show people out in the media, but then he always ends up caving and he doesn't get what he really should get. I would hate to see what Trump would do with the football team or baseball team, because first of all, I guarantee you he wins the Super Bowl or the World Series within 2 years. And I would hate to see the constant bitching and moaning by everybody in the media, but it would be a little entertaining to watch him go into arbitration meetings, all that kind of stuff.
I would like to.
Cameras and everything. I mean, there'll always be a camera in an arbitration meeting, wouldn't it? Yeah. This is going to be the biggest arbitration of all time. And you're going to be like, oh, hell, here we go. But it's like he's a bad version of that.
Yeah.
He tries to show him up, but and I'm not saying he doesn't know how to negotiate, because the guy is a billionaire, so he's not a moron. But in today's NFL, today's sports contracts, there's a way to do it and there's a way not to do it, and he always seems to pick the way not to do it.
Well, and dragging it out in front of the public is probably the worst way to go about it, for starters. So that, and I think his age is showing. I think, all due respect to the guy, I think he's probably like 90-something years old. I think that's definitely showing now with how he's
Well, Peter, I'm going to give you free advice, because she's saying that she's not familiar with the NFL players, etc. I'm going to give you free advice. Assuming he's there, and I think he'll be there, and you want to enjoy your fantasy football season, I would do CeeDee Lamb if I were you.
That's a good pick.
Dallas Cowboy fan, would you not? If you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, you're picking number 3. Bobby's probably going to end up with, well, we'll put it this way. Bobby's going to end up with either Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase, because I don't know Doug's mentality on the number 1 pick. He may be a little more old school and draft a running back.
Yeah.
Right? But then that means that you would get Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
And that she would come down to, do you take Justin Jefferson or do you take CeeDee Lamb? And I think they're interchangeable. And if you want to enjoy your season, why not pick a team, pick what they call the hero pick, meaning the best player that you can get at the top of the draft, and then you can build the team out there. I'm not saying go out there and draft Prescott and draft their entire running back room and draft.
Definitely don't do that.
Don't draft their tight ends. I'm not saying doing that, but if you want to have one player, that's what I would do. I did it for years when Derrick Henry's with the Titans. I usually tried to get him if he was available, and then that way I had one player to pull for, but I don't build my whole team, because A, you probably are going to jinx your team, and B, what happens on bye weeks? What happens on when they just run into a good defense?
Yeah.
And then it's an entire, crap show. So
yeah,
take that for what it's worth. Do whatever you want to do. Obviously, it's your team. But I'm a firm believer, especially in a league like this, have fun with it. And so best way to have fun is have one of your guys. So in other words, if Marvin Harrison Jr. was one of the top receivers in all the draft, I would tell Bobby you'd be an idiot not to draft him.
Yeah.
If Titans don't have anybody, I'm trying to think. I mean, Calvin Ridley probably have a good year, but they don't have a guy, right?
Yeah.
But they don't have a guy that could even mess with that. But if Derrick Henry returned yesterday, then I would say absolutely all bets are off.
Go for him.
So with that being said, we got that out of the way. The fantasy football. Once again, I can rattle it off real quick in case people are just joining us. Doug has the first pick, Bobby 2, Envy 3. I have 4. Mark has 5. John has 6. I'm forgetting someone I just see climb up is 7, and Robert is 8. So whoever the heck I haven't mentioned, I can probably figure it out. If I just look here at the league page real quick, and on the replay, someone's gonna be, it's me. William.
There we go.
I don't know who William is. But okay. That must, oh, you know what? I think that's Billy who comes in the chat. Billy. So Billy's got the number 6 pick. It was messing with me for a second because we had a William that was in this league. I don't even know if he was in this league last year, but he was in the year before. I'm like, did I add him? Because I know his wife told him he couldn't play fantasy football anymore. So what the hell's wrong? It's Billy. That's who it is. So anyways, there you go. And well, Peter, you don't want to draft Henry that early. I'm just giving you free advice because he's not going to go that high.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry's not a top 3 pick anymore.
No.
So he could possibly be there on the turnaround, on the turn, and probably will be in an 8-man draft. You're probably got to have a decent chance of getting Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
You draft Henry number 1, you just sabotage your entire draft. I mean, at that point, you might as well push your chips in and start drafting Cowboys left and right. All right. Let's get into what we have on docket for today. And today what we're doing is the NFC over-unders. And we've jotted these over-unders down. I've got them listed here so I don't have to go searching for them. I am going to have to pull up the schedules, but I have the schedules. Look what we did here. So we're starting off with, I believe it's the Philadelphia Eagles. And I got that on your screen so you get an idea of who they are playing. So if you're following along on our video on YouTube, you can pause it and see who they're playing, but I'm not going to leave that up the entire time. Just giving you an idea each time. We've got one for each team. We're starting off with the Eagles because the Philadelphia Eagles are the defending Super Bowl champions. And Bobby picked 3 teams. I picked 3 teams, and then we're just going to kind of discuss it, right? And so with that being said, Bobby, you wanted to talk about the Eagles. First of all, give me the biggest reason why you wanted to pick this over under. What intrigued you the most?
Well, I went with
the number that I have is 11.5.
I see it at I had it at 12.5 on DraftKings, what I was looking at, but 11.5
plus money on 11.5. What were you getting on DraftKings on 12.5 plus what?
I think it was I think over 12.5 was minus money. It was like minus.
Really?
Yeah. Or no. Sorry. Under 12.5 was like, it was close to even, but I think it was under on minus.
I think I would definitely be jumping on the under 12.5. I think 11.5 is a very interesting number because they're defending Super Bowl champions, and you always have to take that into consideration.
That's true. There could be a little bit of that Super Bowl hangover that we all know about, but I mean, they're still the best team in football. There's no question. There's very little holes on that roster. And they've got an easy division they're playing into. I think they'll pick up 2 wins against the Giants. I think they'll pick up 2 wins against the Cowboys. And I think at least they'll split against the Commanders. That's looking at 5 wins in the bank right there, in my opinion. If the line's sitting at 11.5, that's only 7 more that they've got to get. And I went through the schedule, and it wasn't terribly hard. And I think that's very achievable.
I'll tell you one of the things, my favorite thing about their schedule this year is if you fast forward. Now, I wish is this right? I wish they had punted it until, wait a minute, am I seeing something crazy? Oh, never mind, because I'm on the Eagles schedule. I was like, why are the Cowboys playing on Friday? The Cowboys are playing on Black Friday against the Bears. I was staring at the Cowboy Eagles the week before on that Sunday. Now, I wish the hell they had picked that to be the Thanksgiving game. I think that would have been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But they have a stretch when you look at their schedule that's going to be a little entertaining because they're at Green Bay on November 10th, at home against Detroit, at Dallas, and then they got the Friday Prime Video game.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
And we may be doing the Prime Video game again this year.
Yeah.
I'm not doing nearly as much football play-by-play, but we may be doing that. Depends on how my schedule plays out.
Nice. Well,
But
they also got a fun little stretch at the beginning of the season too, with Kansas City, the Rams, and then the Bucks.
and of course they start with Dallas on
Yeah.
Thursday night. It's the first game
Yeah.
of the season, and it'll be draft day here for Armchair Quarterbacks.
Yep.
And that's a lot of fun. If it was in Dallas, I would give Dallas actually a puncher's chance because it's the first game, and I think it's going to be incredibly difficult for Dallas to come out of a win when they're going to be raising the banner, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But once again, we don't know how they're going to end up doing in this year because a lot of NFL champions come out smelling themselves.
Yep. Yeah, that happens typically.
And looking at the schedule real quick, because we got to speed it up. We got Dallas, Kansas City, the Rams, Tampa. That's a pretty tough stretch. How do they come out of that?
I think at worst, I would say 2-2. I think they beat Dallas, and I think they win at least one of those games against Kansas City, LA, and Tampa Bay. I would predict though 3-1 with probably a loss to Kansas City. I think Kansas City will.
I've got them 2-2, and the
2-2?
reason
Okay.
why is I do think there's a stumble in the first two games.
That's true.
It's either going to be the Cowboys are going to shock them, but I
Yeah.
doubt it because of this nonsense going on with Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
And they are going to have 10 days to prepare, but they're going to go into Kansas City. If you don't think Kansas City is going to be fired up for that game after you get embarrassed in the Super Bowl, and it's the 4:25 Sunday afternoon kickoff, that's going to be the game. I like the Rams a lot. Unfortunately, it's in Philadelphia, and Tampa's going to be a tough team this year. They really are.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
All right, the next four: Denver, Giants, Minnesota, Giants. I mean, 4-0?
It should be 4-0, I would think. Yeah, it's hard to imagine that's not 4-0. So
maybe they stumble at Minnesota, but it's doubtful.
I can see that. I mean, if JJ McCarthy looks like
so it
top
works
quarterback out the game.
5-3 at the break.
Yeah.
And then the next four are Green Bay, Detroit, Dallas, and Chicago. At Green Bay and at Dallas. The other two are at home.
I think they'd go 4-0 in that stretch.
Wow, really? Okay, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, but I've got them going 3-1.
Okay.
And then the last 5 games are Chargers, at the LA Chargers, at home against the Raiders, at Washington, at Buffalo, and at home against Washington.
I'll go 3-2 in that stretch. It could be better depending on what the division looks like. It depends on how much that Week 18 game means. If they've already got the division wrapped up, then I think they'll pretty obviously lose that. But
yeah, so that's about what I have, and what we're teetering here is you get plus money if they get to 12 wins. It's minus 130 if you go to the under of 11.5. And we're taking our numbers off of covers.com for folks at home that may be wondering. It just makes it easier for all of us to be looking at the same number. Man, that is such a tough number. But because of the plus, I think I'm going with the over.
Yeah.
I don't like the 12.5 that you're getting on DraftKings.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you want to take the under, if you're inclined to take the under, do it on DraftKings because
if it's legal in your state, it's not legal in Florida.
Yeah,
but
that might be why.
It's not legal in a lot of states, but I think it's only legal in like 12 states.
Yeah.
But I just have to go with, I think 12 is the maximum because of the hangover effects. Not that I don't think they're a good team, but a lot of these great teams, they go like, we'll get it together. And the next thing you know, you're towards the end of the season, like, crap, we got to win 4 in a row so we can get a bye. Right.
True. Well, I do want to give a little
And
bit
at Buffalo and at Washington back-to-backs in December, that's no joke.
That's gonna be tough. Yeah, that's gonna be tough, no doubt about it. I do have some confidence in Jalen Hurts remaining level-headed, though. He's established to at least us that it's a new season and he has kind of a fresh slate in his head. He's not too hungover from the Super Bowl. Now it's easier to say that than to actually go out there and play like that. But I do trust Jalen Hurts to be, compared to most quarterbacks, pretty level-headed about approaching this season.
Yeah, I've got him at 12-5 is what I have him at. But that's if everything goes right. Saquon Barkley gets injured, which is usually what happens when you become like, isn't he probably the Madden guy?
That's the Madden curse. Yeah, that's why I'm terrified to take him in fantasy. I think I have the number 3 pick in one league.
I've got some shares of him, but I don't. Yeah, I'm like, yeah. And the numbers just play out when you see when someone has as much production as he has last year.
Yeah,
usually there's a steep drop off.
Yeah,
but with that being said, he's had his big crippling injury. So has he learned something from that? And is he stronger because of it? And as much as people are going nuts with taking Bijan, and he still plays for the Falcons.
He does.
And that's a tough thing to get over when you've watched them for a while. I've been pulling for the Falcons now for a handful of years, ever since we started BCR. I was just kind of like, well, you know what? I need an NFC team. I'll pull for the Falcons.
Yeah. And I was all over Bijan in fantasy last year, and it kind of bit me. So.
And Honest Engine, like, they suck.
Yeah.
Like, they always make the wrong decision. And so with that being said, I don't see how you can continue to go with believing that Bijan Robinson, because there are people that are drafting him number 1 overall. That's my thing.
Well, that's crazy talk to me, but
yeah, I just don't get it. I don't see how you come up with that number, because first of all, if you're going to pick a running back number 1 overall, you better realize off the jump he could get injured. There's much more of a chance. Not saying receivers don't get injured, because they get injured all the time. We know Jefferson tore his ACL. Isn't that what happened to Chase? Didn't Chase have I know he missed quite a bit of time in one season. I can't remember what the injury was, but we know that they have injuries.
Yeah.
But running backs by nature are built to get injured. That's why when you draft a running back in the early part of the draft, you're really banking on somebody. And by the way, Peter, don't be an idiot. Don't draft freaking Derrick Henry in the 3rd pick. I mean, come on, get your head out of your ass. I know you grew up in his hometown or whatever, but my God, you're trying, have a competitive bone in your body. You're mailing in your damn season when you draft him in the 1st round. But the point is, the running backs are explosive and still take off and can still catch the ball out of the backfield at a high clip. Those are the ones that you go for.
Yeah, and that's what Bijan.
Henry's not that one. I'm just putting that out there.
Now I do have some confidence in Derrick Henry staying healthy and standing.
Oh yeah, I think he'll do great.
He's a
if you get him
superhuman,
late second round, early 3rd, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's where he's at.
Yeah, I'm fine with him anywhere in the 2nd round. Really, I still, I wouldn't pick him in the 1st. I think that's pretty.
Considering how shallow of a league we're in, I think he could even fall to the 3rd. Probably not. So when he comes back on the turn,
I probably won't let that happen.
Right, exactly. So, but she's going to draft before you in the 2nd round. Yeah, you got to keep in mind. And it's not smart fantasy sports to draft someone just because you know who they are.
Yeah. If anything, just follow the board. Just
that's something a Mets fan would do. All right, let's get into the next one on the board, because we got to speed this up because we kind of got bogged down in the fantasy talk. Let's get it. Next one on the board is the Dallas Cowboys, and Dallas Cowboys their over under is 7.5 on covers. So that's the one we go with. It's a minus number at minus 140 plus number to hit the under. I'm definitely banging the over on this. I don't see how in the world you can take Dallas Cowboys to go 6-11 is what you're banking on.
Yeah.
They still have a lot of talent on that team, and I'm just going to assume that the contract thing gets itself worked out eventually.
Yeah, I think it'll get solved. I think it's something where.
I'm sorry, 7-10.
Which is still really low, even with how poor they were last year. I think the Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons are both pretty volatile characters to say the least. I think it'll work itself out, like you said. But even that aside, I think I would go over 7.5, but I don't think they'll get much higher than that. I think 8's right where they land. They still have a really tough out of conference schedule. I know they play Green Bay, they play Denver, they play Kansas City, Detroit, Minnesota, Chargers. They have quite a bit of tough out of conference opponents. And then of course they have to play the Commanders and Eagles twice a year.
All right, hear me out. This is how we get to 8 wins. Ready? Yep. They're going to beat the Giants at home. They are going to beat the Jets, I believe. Okay. It's in New York, but I give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
They are going to – I'm not going to give them the Green Bay game. It is in Dallas, but they've got a decent chance of winning that one. Yeah. But give me them winning one of the games against Washington because they always play well against Washington no matter which team is good and which team's not. They are going to beat the Raiders. That's 4. They're going to – I think they'll beat Minnesota at home. It's a Sunday night game. That's 5.
Yeah.
Give them a decent chance to maybe even sweep the Giants, though I think the Giants last game of the season, that's a toss-up, so I'll throw that one aside. But give me a win at home against – man, the Arizona game's questionable. It's a Monday night game, and I know that's your team.
Well, I'll tell you this, though. Kyler, he always shows out against the Cowboys. I don't know what it is. It's the opposite with how we play against Carolina. We always batter the Cowboys. I don't know why, but we do. So I'll put that one down.
They also have winnable games against the Bears.
Yeah.
Carolina's winnable.
Yeah.
It's in Carolina, but it's winnable. Denver's a toss-up. I think I already said the Raiders.
Yeah.
I just think they're going to find a way to get to 8,
but
it's not one of my favorite plays.
Yeah, I'd probably stay away from it. If I'm having to pick, I would take the over 7.5 there.
All right, next one on the docket. This is the Washington Commanders. It's one of the teams that you picked, and giving the schedule real quick up there on the screen. And the Washington Commanders, you're looking at their schedule right now. Tell me now their over/under is 9.5, minus 130, plus 100 if you take the under.
Yep.
Are you over or are you under?
I'm going to take the over in this one. I am worried about the Terry McLaurin situation. That's a big big factor here. I think Terry McLaurin could test his value and see what teams are willing to offer when they're trying to figure out a trade. I don't think he's going to get what he's wanting. He's wanting just shy of Justin Jefferson money. That ain't happening. So I think he could end up back in Washington. But even if not, I still think they could go over 9.5 here. They've got 2 games in the bag against the Giants and then against the Cowboys.
You're convinced that they're going to sweep the Giants. Everybody's going to sweep the Giants, man.
I know. It happens every year. It happens every year, doesn't it?
Giants always play them.
yeah,
they
that's fair.
Smoked by the Eagles, but they always play Washington tough.
That's fair. I do worry about a potential sophomore slump a little bit for Jaden Daniels, but I don't know. I'm trusting how good I saw from Jaden Daniels last year, and I think they have enough winnable games where they can get over that mark.
Here are games that are winnable. I'm not going to say they're going to win them all, but these are very winnable games.
Yeah.
Giants at Green Bay. Raiders at the Falcons. Bears. That's 5 of the first 6 games, by the way.
Yeah, and that Chargers game right there, Week 5, that's very winnable too, I think.
It is, but it's in LA, and I think people forget how tough they really were.
Well, they're going across the country for that one too. So
I know they got their asses handed to them in the playoffs, but that was a tough team last year.
Yeah.
Other very winnable games at home against Seattle, home against Miami, home against Denver, at Minnesota, at the Giants, home against Philly, home against Dallas.
Both winnable.
Yeah, I think I got to go 10.
Yeah, and especially I think that Week 18 game is huge too, because if the Eagles have the division wrapped up and the Commanders are still playing for playoff seeding or just to get in the playoffs in general, that Week 18 game could be easy for them.
Yeah, you just hope if you're going down that road that you're not that your life isn't depending on that. Because what if they have?
Yeah, you hope they have it wrapped up by then.
What if they have a wild card wrapped up? And they're sitting at 9 wins. Like, all right, what are you doing? Son of a. That's why it's always good to grab a team that you think might have good momentum at the beginning of the season, because they're going to offer you a cash out.
That's true.
And if things are going well, you might want to grab that cash out if you're like, I don't know if that game's going to matter in Week 18.
Yeah.
All right, next one on the docket, team that I picked, the Chicago Bears. Dump Bears. And the reason why I took this team is because there's a lot of hype going for the Chicago Bears this year. A lot of people believe that the Bears are going to be one of the teams that could surprise, maybe even win the division. I am not one of those people. I don't believe the Bears have done enough. I also believe that Minnesota's a tough team. Obviously, Detroit, I know they lost their offensive coordinator, but let's not lose our mind and act like that just makes the team collapse.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, Green Bay is a team a couple of years ago looked like they might have won the Super Bowl. And last year they had a down year. So I think they bounced back.
Yep.
And their over-under in Chicagoland is 8.5, and I don't think they get there.
I'm in the same boat as you. I'm going the under, and I'll one up you there. I think they finished last in the division as well.
Yeah, they should.
I don't think that's too much of a hot take. I think JJ McCarthy does not have to be some incredible quarterback for the Vikings to put together a good season. So
if you look at it from the betting aspect, Detroit and probably Minnesota don't have unders as low as 8.5.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine that the Packers do either.
Doubt it.
So I don't think that's a hot take at all. I think but there are a lot of folks that are out there going, watch out for the Bears, watch out for the Bears, because they believe that the offensive coordinator is just going to go in and just all of a sudden change the entire team. I don't think that's going to be the case at all. No. I think they're going to be more exciting to watch, but you got to give the guy a couple of years to get his to get his personnel in there.
Yep. Well, and I still have some question marks about Caleb Williams. I think he'd be crazy not to. I think he's talented, but I worry about, we've seen that how he plays may not translate to the NFL exactly.
And the other person that's in there that's going fairly high in fantasy that I have huge question marks about because I haven't seen consistency is Rome Odunze.
Yeah.
He keeps being hyped, as everybody always tends to hype these same receivers over and over and over again. I got to see more consistency from him. Now he may get that this year, but I've got to believe in it, and I've got to buy into the fact that the moves that they made in the running back room are going to pay out.
Yep.
And is that even going to matter if Caleb Williams out there throwing interceptions?
Well, and on top of that, you got DJ Moore sitting above Odunze in the depth chart, who's a much better receiver. I think he'll be getting most of the targets. So I'm not sure where the Rome Odunze hype is coming from.
In fantasy drafts too. So I don't look at him being as big of a reach.
Yeah.
I do believe Odunze is a little bit of a reach.
I'm in the same boat with you because he didn't have an incredible season last year. And like you said, very inconsistent. I don't know why he's going as high as he's.
He reminds me of some of the Falcon receivers over the years.
Yeah.
Or like Tyler Lockett. Well, everybody's always in love with Tyler Lockett. Go pump the brakes. He's got 4 touchdowns and it's week 17.
I've drafted this guy
at 1 week when DK Metcalf was injured. Shut up!
Yeah.
Just stop it.
I can tell you this. I drafted Odunze in a couple leagues last year. I don't think he saw my starting lineup probably at all, maybe like once or twice.
Bears, by the way, tough road to sled too.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're
at Washington, at Baltimore, at Cincinnati. That's 3 of their first 4 games.
Yeah.
So they're 1-3 because they'll probably beat the Saints.
Yep.
Then a little later on, at Minnesota, home against Pittsburgh, at Philly, at Green Bay. I mean, they're going to collect losses like it's a stamp collection.
Yep. Yeah,
so
and that 3-game stretch to end the season's tough too. Green Bay, San Francisco, Detroit. That's going to be tough, man.
If you can get that number, it's 8.5 is what I'm seeing on covers. I haven't cross-checked it with all the other ones. You are paying -145 on this book, but
yeah,
I still think that, man, I think that's easy money.
Yeah,
honest engine.
Yeah, I'm with you. If it wasn't the division they're playing in the NFC North, if it wasn't so loaded, maybe I'd take the over.
If you want to hedge your bet, put a little pizza money on them to win the division, because the odds are going to be so great that if you're wrong about the over/under, they're probably going to win the division.
Yeah, because those teams are right around the same mark.
They damn well may get 12 or 13 if we're like totally wrong about what can be done in one off season.
Yeah.
All right, next team up on the docket. I think you've heard of this team before. It's called the Arizona Cardinals.
I regret to say I have.
And Bobby, tell everybody why you're a Cardinals fan. This is one of my favorite stories.
Yeah. So I started playing Madden and around about the year after they went to the Super Bowl. And the game I played, it had to be picked between the Cardinals and the Steelers when I opened up the game or something. And of course, I picked the Cardinals because I liked Kurt Warner, I liked Fitzgerald. I thought the logo was cool and everything. And since then, I've been loyal to that team, unfortunately, to a fault.
It really dumbfounds me that you're not a St. Louis Cardinals baseball fan too, because Bobby has grown up in the state of Tennessee. He's not that from Cardinals country. I'm not telling you to be that. You need to be a Braves fan, but it surprises me that you didn't go, screw it, that's my baseball team too.
Yeah, well, you can see my team's back there. It doesn't make much sense for someone who grew up in Tennessee.
No, Portland, Trailblazers.
That's another one because of video games.
And then he's a dirty Gator on Saturdays, so you can't trust anything he says. All right, Arizona, the number that I have is 8.5.
Yeah.
I think that's gettable. And it must be gettable because it's -115 on the over. It's -105 on the other. So it's a true pick 'em.
Yeah.
From the boys out in the desert. Now, they're given the slight lean to 9 wins. What do you have, Adam?
I'm going over here. I'm not going to say we're going to go all the way to the Super Bowl or anything. I think we get right at 9 wins. We have an improved defense, a very improved defense. I think that's the strong point of this team. I know people will look at James Conner, Marvin Harrison, Trey McBride, some of the talent we have on offense.
The number
defense.
one fantasy managers want to know is Trey McBride going to find the damn end zone?
Yes, he'll get the end zone. I don't think he'll keep getting tackled short of the end zone, and then James Conner will come and vulture.
How many he finished with? Was it 1?
I want to say he finished with like a couple. But
it took forever for him to get a damn.
I know it was, and then there was a late in the season, I think against the Rams. We were on it was a game-winning driver down like the 2-yard line. We hit him for a game-winning touchdown, bounced off his hands, got intercepted.
There's a guy that I follow for prop bets and everything, and he every week, man.
Trey McBride touchdowns.
Keep going. It's going to be the week.
It's going to be this week. He's due.
See him on Monday. Gosh, darn it.
Yeah. I think we'll go over 8.5 though. Marvin Harrison's going into his second year. I think he'll look better. And I had my gripes about him in year 1 just from what I saw. His stats were fine. Just his play on the field was iffy. He's bulked up a lot this offseason. I think he'll be a better player in year 2.
I just think he's phenomenally talented.
I think he's too talented to not be good. The dude's ridiculous. He's not
if he's not making the highlight reel on a weekly basis, I'm putting that all on Kyler Murray.
I'm with you.
I just think Marvin Harrison is just phenomenal, man.
Yeah, I think he was. It was iffy year 1, but a lot of.
I do think that Kyler Murray has come a long way. We used to beat him up. We used to beat him up bad on this show.
Yeah, well, it's funny because now that we're here, I've kind of given up on hope there. I'm kind of over this experiment. I don't have a whole lot of faith in that.
You want to move on from him? Is what you're? Well, I guess you can't because
can't right now. This is the last year to really show what he's got. If he doesn't play at a really high level, I think you don't really have much of a choice. It's shown again and again that it's not working, and you don't have the Cliff Kingsbury excuse to follow back on. At least I don't anymore. So I know I used to love to go after Cliff, but yeah, you don't have that to lean back on anymore.
The reason why I never liked him is because all the stories that came out about how he just played video games all the time.
Yeah,
and the fact that he's basically, Danny DeVito out there playing quarterback. He's a little chunky. He's really, really short. And I'm like, come on, man. I wanted to like him because he was such a good baseball prospect.
Yeah.
But
I think he's
like watching him play.
I think he's an extremely talented player. I think he's very talented. I think
he's a great athlete. I don't know if he's a great quarterback.
Well, yeah, and my problem lies with the mental side of the game. And I think he kind of whenever games get into rough points and whenever we get down, he doesn't really play back from adversity.
He is one of those guys that sports came really easy for.
Yeah.
And now he's in the National Football League, and you got to work harder.
Yeah.
And he just hasn't done it yet. But I agree with you. This is push or shove year.
Yeah. Now, are we going to count on it in year 7 of his NFL career? I don't know. That's a tough one.
That's the thing.
So, I think we go over an 8.5.
His speed's only going to get worse as he gets older. I still think he's got pretty good speed. And honestly, that's one of the biggest gripes I have about him. I don't think he runs enough.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's very, very hesitant to run.
I think he should take off. I'm not saying go and take on linebackers. Get the hell out of bounds, right?
Yeah.
But I think he should boot scoot boogie down the field. The next thing you know, safeties are coming up, and then you can hit the long pass.
Absolutely.
We don't have time.
I think that'll open up the deep ball a lot more because last year when he didn't run as much, his deep ball was horrific. It was terrible. It was the worst I've ever watched.
Passes. Throw Trey McBride touchdown passes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quit leading it down to the 2-yard line as it's running him out of bounds.
I'm with you.
All right. I'm with you. I think they probably get there, but if I was going to bet this a large amount of money, I would probably take the under because it seems like they always stub their toe at the beginning. And it seems like they come on hot late.
Yeah.
I ended up taking them last year on the over when I got a small over. It took me forever, but I actually got to the number. It took me forever. At the time when I told you I was getting it, I thought, hell, man, I'm going to cruise to this.
Yeah.
And then they played with their food. The next thing I know, we were struggling. It might have been the last week of the season, but
yeah. Well, I know we were. I think it was against the 49ers. It was just the throwaway game.
What was your win total last year? Do you know off the top of your head?
I want to say it was like 7.5. It wasn't that high. I think it was 7.5.
No, I mean, how many wins did you win last year?
Oh, we got 8 wins.
Yeah. So I think I got the number at 7. It might have been 8, but I know that it took me a lot longer to get to the number than I thought it would when I first told you, hey man, look what I found.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there thinking they're out in the desert going, hey man, look what we found. It's over here. All right. Let's go to the next team on the docket as we try to speed this up real quick. We've made it to our last team. I thought we had 2 more. So the Los Angeles Rams. And once again, I think we're both in agreement that Arizona hits their number. I'm just not willing to put much on it because I'm a little concerned about their road schedule at Houston, at Tampa Bay, at Dallas, at San Francisco. And New Orleans is a weird place to start your season, by the way.
Sure.
Crappy team, but man, they're going to be fired up.
Well,
all right, here's the Rams, your division rival. There's the schedule on the screen. Take it off the screen, and here we go. All right. The LA Rams. I'm pretty big on the Rams this year.
My
biggest concern is the health of
Matt Stafford. Absolutely. Yeah, the whole hyperbolic chamber they dragged out to the facility for him. I worry about his back.
The last show that we had, we were talking about Stafford's injury, and that Monday he started practicing.
Yeah.
So maybe he's going to be okay.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this, the second best team in the National Football League last year. No, you know what? The best team in the National Football League last year in the playoffs was the LA Rams. They lost in Philadelphia because
Barely.
weather and it was a road game.
Yep.
If they're at home, the Rams are in the Super Bowl and they're going to smoke the Chiefs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now they didn't. They fell just a touchdown short.
Glad they did.
But this is a team that I think is going to be really good this year if Stafford can stay healthy. Now, they do have Jimmy G. I get it. He's a drop-off. But if he has to play a game here and there, he's basically one of those spot starters you get in baseball where you're like, you know what? Need to go out there and eat some innings. Just do us a favor. Don't try to strike anybody out. Rely on your defense, and that's what Jimmy G will be trying to do.
Yep.
They're at home against Houston, at Tennessee, at Philly, home against Indy. The first 4 games, I think they're 3-1.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they'll win.
I would love to tell you the Titans are going to win that game, but they're not.
Yeah, I think they'll beat all those AFC South opponents. Yeah.
How the hell did they line that up? 3 AFC.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
What the hell is that about? All right. At home against San Francisco on a Thursday night, so a short week. That's going to be a tough one. But they normally play San Fran pretty good, especially at home. They play well. At Baltimore, but they have 10 days to get ready for it, and then at home against Jacksonville. They may go 2-1 in that stretch.
Yeah, I could see them through that first 7 games of the season up until the bye week having only 2 losses.
5-2.
Yeah, I see it.
They're probably going to be 4-3 because there's probably a loss that pops up, but 5-2 is good.
Well, luckily they've got a cakewalk coming out of the bye week.
Yeah, at home against the Saints.
Yeah,
so you can
basically
get
2 bye weeks.
You can be 6-2. That's a divisional opponent. See, I'm sorry, they used to be in the division with each other. They're no longer. But the divisional opponent the next week at San Francisco, probably a loss.
Yep.
At home against Seattle, probably a win.
Yep.
So you're sitting there at 7-3.
And then you just need what? You just need 2 or 3 more, right? 3 more?
Yeah, their over-under's 9.5.
Yeah.
So they're at home against Tampa, not going to be easy, and it's a Sunday night game.
Yeah.
At Carolina, at Arizona, home against Detroit, at Seattle, at Atlanta, home against Arizona. They're going to win one of those Arizona games.
For sure. I think they'll beat Atlanta.
Beat Seattle, I believe,
yeah.
Even though I get it's a divisional rival. But they're going to win at least one of the Seattle games.
Yep.
That gets you to 9 wins.
Just need 1 more of those.
You're trying to tell me that they can't beat Carolina, Atlanta? I mean,
or Tampa at home.
I don't see how they're not 10-win team this year.
Yeah. Yeah, looking at that schedule laid out like that, I think. Now, it depends on if Stafford's back is toast, then that's going to be a problem.
Well,
but that's under the assumption that he plays and stays healthy.
But you're going to take all that risk for any team that you bet on.
Yeah, of course.
Even if you believe out west, let's say you're a big 49ers supporter and you believe the 49ers are going to figure it out this year and bounce back and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Yeah,
until Brock Purdy gets hurt, until CMC goes down with another injury.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where I know you got to bake it into it, but I don't believe that you can worry about the Stafford injury because he has been playing football for a while. I feel like, first of all, he's not going to practice a whole hell of a lot.
Yeah.
What's the point? Why would you? And I think McVay, hell of a coach, and he's going to figure out a way to keep his man healthy, and they'll be leaning on the run game. Yeah. As much as I like the Rams, I don't know if I like their offensive weapons for fantasy because one of my biggest question marks is, will Kyron Williams take a little bit of a step back in his production?
Yeah. Will
they lean on Blake Corum a little bit more, or some of the other guys in the running back room? Excuse me. But you've got 2 really good, talented receivers in Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. Now, granted, Adams 32 years old. That's usually not where you go, all right, he's about to take off in his prime.
Yeah.
But he's still Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
They're going to be able to score some points, but McVay likes to run the ball.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind when you're drafting Rams and you're like, oh, no. He likes to, if he can do it, he'd run and you think of McVay as flash and glamour and LA, but if McVay has a choice, he's running the ball.
Yeah.
He has the mentality of a Chicago Bears type coach, right? We're going to win in any kind of weather.
Yeah.
But he comes off in press conferences as LA boy, right?
Yeah.
So I've got him hitting the over.
Yep.
Say you 9.5. That means 10 wins. Are you taking the over?
Yeah, I'm taking the over there. And like you mentioned with McVay, I mean, when you have a coach as good as that, it's hard to count them out.
All right, what is your walk-off for the week, sir?
My walk-off, I'll leave you, since we didn't really have time to touch on it too much, I'll just briefly go through a couple guys I think to avoid in fantasy. Christian McCaffrey, I'm staying away from him because of last year with his Achilles tendonitis. That sounds like
that's a popular opinion.
Yeah, glaring red flag. And then Chris Godwin. There's still not a lot of clarity on when he'll be back from his injury.
Oh, and what about, they just said a couple of days ago, Brandon Ayuk, we didn't go over the 49ers, but Brandon Ayuk, they're hoping he's back by week 6.
That's pretty
Man,
late.
You got Brandon Ayuk, just realize he's be sitting on your freaking on your bench, and you're always gonna be playing the game of he's on the IL, but I've got to pick a guy up. So he's not. So so I don't even know if he'll end up on the PUP list or not. We'll find that closer to the draft. But you're playing a dangerous game if he's not, because if they think he can come back before that, you're constantly going to be dealing with that in pickups. Just to remind everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
I like Ayuk, but man, 6 weeks.
That's a long time to wait.
The draft, and I'm not going to have you for half the season.
Yeah, it's a long time to wait. So now, and then my other one is Chris Godwin, another receiver who could be out for a while. We don't know when he'll be back. And then Emeka Egbuka, he's been great in camp and then the preseason as well. And he plays that similar role to Chris Godwin. So we could see Chris Godwin sort of unseated, and maybe if Egbuka carries this into the regular season, maybe they'll kind of slow down how quickly they'll bring him back.
Yeah, honest engine, I'm a little nervous drafting any of the receivers for Tampa Bay not named Mike Evans.
Yeah.
Because Godwin, when he comes back, you would think that he goes the 1A, 1B with Evans.
Yep.
But they spent good draft capital to try to upgrade that draft room. And then, of course, the guys coming back from last year, you're talking about there could be weeks where you start Godwin, you're like, dude, is he hurt? Like, why in the hell has he not had a catch? And we're in the third quarter.
Yep.
My walk-off, next week we're going to do this for AFC teams. And we've already done the AFC and NFC South, so we missed a team. That go back and watch the first video.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I'm looking forward to that because that is a loaded conference. We should have a good time.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Thursdays, 9 a.m. Eastern, right here on Braves Country Radio, the Armchair Quarterbacks Today. Bobby, great job. We will see you next week. And at that point, we'll be 2 weeks away from the NFL and 2 weeks away from our fantasy draft, which, let's be honest, is the most important thing in the world.
That's right.
That's right, baby. Let's go.
Well, the season's finally here, and the players...
Hey, football fans, you ready for the gridiron? Thursday and Friday mornings, the Armchair Quarterback Show returns, 9 a.m. Eastern. We'll be talking college and NFL football, the point spreads, fantasy football advice, and more. Want to catch it live? Become a Country Club member today here on Braves Country Radio. We'll make the replay available to the public later on that day as we're being broadcasted nationwide on independent radio stations. As a member catching it live, you can ask your questions. We'll answer all. Point spread advice, player props, your fantasy football questions. It's the Armchair Quarterback Show. Thursday and Friday mornings this fall here on Braves Country Radio.